Hey guys, Spartan here from SpartanTrading.com for the daily recap, January 27th, 2022. A little bit more of a choppy day, difficult day to trade, especially, we have Apple earnings after the bell today. They kind of pinned the market all afternoon. But what did we do? So we did a couple different things. We'll start with the trades that didn't work today. So we tried to take Tesla long out the gate. That didn't work out well. It ended up getting stopped out, as well as we took a lot of options, which didn't work on that name. After that, we took UPST on the long side, which worked out nicely. We took LRCX. So this morning at 101.80, we sold it for a point and change. We took LRCX on the short side around 572. That ended up working out quite well. We took Terra short as well at 108.40. That ended up working out quite well as on that one. What else did we do? We tried some GME on the long side. That didn't work today. We took some WDC, which we ended up taking off flat. And the earnings just came out. That's why it's got that big spike there. We had some BMY on the long side, which worked out nicely on the options. 64 calls, which ended up getting in the money. We had some AMD short, which we ended up just scalping to the downside. Getting out a little bit too early on that name, but still was an okay trade. We had some Indo on the long side. We played it all the way into the $9 area. It was probably the trade of the day, around 550 in to $9, and then we got back in around 593, and we played it all the way towards that 730 level. That was a really good trade. We also did GBR and Sympathy right out the gate this morning, and that ended up going to around 322, so that wasn't a bad trade in itself. The other smaller stock that we did was IMPP on the long side. Played it to 236 from about a buck 80 area, buck 87. That was a decent little scalp for us. Rivian short, nice little trade to the downside there. XLNX short intraday was a decent little trade to the downside as well. We tried to take some shop, ended up taking that off flat just because the market was chopping around at the time. We did some UPST on a scalp. We did some Coop long as well today. That ended up being a nice 2-point and change trade. And then we did some BA on the short side, which ended up being a really nice short. We ended up taking some 180 puts, which worked okay on the roll there. Visa long, ended up scalping that to the upside into that last day high. And then pretty much after that, we did some DDOG short, which ended up working quite nicely to the downside into the end of the day there. And I think from the equity side, that's pretty much about it. Scalped a little bit of win on the short side at the end of the day there. Didn't get too much on it. Literally I think a couple cents, and then stopped out. And then we last but not least, we did the LRCX end of the day. We did a little bit of long, scalped it for a point to the upside towards that 50 May. It's actually a couple points. On the option side, so we talked about that BMY that worked out nicely. The TSM puts, we had 115s, which ended up being over 100% trade. We took some SPY calls and puts. We were kind of in and out of them all day. Some worked, some